Hello, everyone! Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. Today is a very special episode because David and Lisa and myself, we're going to give a eulogy to the Nintendo Switch because the Switch 2 is just around the corner and we are so excited for the future of the Nintendo Switch lineup of systems and the successor to the Nintendo Switch. And it's time to go back, rewind the clock a little bit, and go over the games that came out on the Nintendo Switch because there are some real bangers here, and we believe that there are some of the greatest games in their series included in this release of games here.
You know, it's interesting. We just had some reports about the sales numbers for the current Switch, and they've kind of like they've had to cut for their forecast again of numbers, and you know, there's analysts saying it's clear that it is very much time to release Switch 2, you know, as far as sales go.
Yeah.
So we finally know what it looks like, what it is, and that it is the proper time to say goodbye to the original Switch.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give it a proper send-off. We've made this, we looked back, we saw the list of games, you know, even if you just focus on first-party Nintendo games, there have bindsome great ones.
Yes. We're going to focus primarily on the first-party Nintendo games for this list. We know there's a ton of indie titles that are not here, but for now, first-party only. I'm just going to go in alphabetical order, as long as that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Starting with Animal Crossing New Horizons. This was, for me, the greatest Animal Crossing game to date. And I said this last time with New Leaf. I don't know how they're going to top it, but they topped it with New Leaf, with New Horizons. But I really don't know where they're going to go from here because they gave you so much freedom in New Horizons. What else can they do? But I loved it. I sank so many hours into this. It came out at the perfect time, and I still hop on every now and then. I don't play it as much as I would like to anymore. But man, I had a really strong, long haul on this title here.
I was gonna say, I've never played an Animal Crossing game before, but like you said, it came out the perfect timing for me to give it a chance, and I did enjoy it. It's not the typical kind of game I would play, and I have to admit I don't play it much anymore. But when it was the hype, you know, during the pandemic, everyone was playing it. I had my time with it too and enjoyed it. I think a lot of people can agree that as far as the Animal Crossing series goes, we have the all-time series best right here on the Switch.
Oh, yes.
I kind of wish that I'd played more co-op with it because I feel like it would have been way more fun. Because I remember seeing stuff like people were like, "Oh yeah, we're like, what was there just some kind of pretend wedding or something?"
Yes.
I was like,
someone had a wedding on there during the COVID. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So maybe it was a real one. So just like playing it by myself, I end up doing my classic problem of finding a way to grind and then making it into a chore. I did that with tarantulas.
Tarantulas are the worst.
Yeah. So I wish I'd played it with more people because I probably would have had a better time. But like, it's the first Animal Crossing game I played, and like, I enjoyed it.
All right, moving on. We've got Astral Chain. Nice. I believe Anthony would throw a fit if we did not include this on this list.
Yeah, Anthony's like, he's just waiting. There was news recently. Platinum Games, things aren't going too well there with that.
Aww.
So he's sad that there's a good chance Astral Chain 2 won't happen. But
yes.
Like to give an example, I don't know if people who have been viewing the channel for a while remember, but there was a teaser for Bayonetta 3, and they started with an Astral Chain character as the part of the teaser. Poor Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony was not pleased that it was a tease.
Yeah,
he lost his mind. I wish we were alive when that happened.
Oh.
For a second, he was sure that it was an Astral Chain 2 reveal, and anyway, so that's something that he is very passionate about. We've had some very successful videos. Anthony did like a whole combat series about Astral Chain on the channel.
Yeah, so if you're gonna try Astral Chain, you should check out those videos because I started Astral Chain and was so bad at it that I promptly gave up, and I still plan to go back, but I need to watch those videos so I can actually not feel like I'm the worst.
And I'm a graduate. I'm a graduate of those videos.
Nice.
I watched them too. Yeah, my diploma is that I beat the game. It generally worked. Like Anthony's advice, he does recommend like playing it on a harder mode. So, but his advice is great to balance that out, and I had a great time with it. So as far as exclusive action games go on Nintendo consoles, I think Astral Chain is the best one. I can't think of any else.
Amazing.
But if anyone hasn't played it, we highly recommend it. And if you have played it and struggled with the difficulty, then watch that combat series that Anthony created. It's excellent.
Or if you thought the game was a button masher, also check it out. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We've got Fire Emblem Three Houses.
The best in the series. I think a lot of people can agree on that one. This is one I have to admit I haven't played, but I know Anthony did. He recently said, I have to go back and, just play it and enjoy it, because I know that he had the grinding problem Lisa described the first time he tried it. But
Yes, pretty badly.
To be honest, I own the game and I've not touched it because I am terrified. Terrified of what I'll do.
Yeah.
Because I hear from everybody that it's a beast, and I will find a way to make a beast out of something that's not. So if it already is, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I also have not played it before either, but I know it's a big deal for all Fire Emblem fans, and just hearing about it from Anthony and how great it is makes it no doubt in my mind that if there's any Fire Emblem game that I need to play, it's this one. And because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, I still have time.
If anyone in the comments thinks Fire Emblem Three Houses is the best one, let us know and tell us why we should play it. The people who
Or if you think it's not the best one and
Yes.
there's a better one, you should
Yes.
buy.
Yes, we'd love to hear it. All right, another one I have not played. Okay, I lied. I have played it. I have not beat it. My daughter has played the game in its entirety and loved it to pieces. Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yes.
Ooh, this is like the first 3D Kirby game, and it debuted, and it was absolutely incredible. The visuals were gorgeous. The animation styles were great. Gameplay was nice. I actually enjoyed it.
Like, were you not sure you'd like it at first, Steven?
I'm not a big Kirby guy myself, no.
Okay, that's fair. I grew up playing Kirby with Anthony, and so, like, for me, it's like, well, that's Kirby is a classic.
And I played some of the classic Kirby games. Having played several of them now and beaten basically all the ones available on Switch, I can confidently say personally, Kirby on the Forgotten Land is the best game in the series. At the very least, the best 3D Kirby, the only one.
Yes.
Well, no, there are others, I think.
Oh.
But there's a reason why they're forgotten.
Oh, that's what you did there.
But Kirby and Forgotten Land, I loved it. What's fascinating about this series is that it's all cutesy, and you think it's meant only for kids, but every single final boss is like some cosmic horror.
No kidding. And my daughter showed me the final boss for this game like multiple times, and she's like, "Look at how awesome this is!" No spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but she lost her mind. She's like, "This is so cool."
I think you'd like it, Lisa. It's fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I played.
Do it. It's good.
And you can play it. You can play it 2-player. There's a second player. Unfortunately, they can't be Kirby, and their abilities are more limited. But
yes,
it's still can be fun to have a helper. And
that's how I played with my daughter. So my daughter would not let me be Kirby. She had to be Kirby. So I played as Waddle-Dee.
The other thing, the one thing I'll say about Kirby and the Forgotten Land is, it might seem easy for a lot of it, but if you want to find all the collectibles, that's where the challenge comes in. And I think that's Nintendo's strategy for some of these more kid-friendly games, is make the main story pretty accessible. But like, if you want some real challenge, try and collect everything, try and do the challenge levels. And my goodness, there was a couple times where I was like telling Anthony, this is feeling as difficult as Dark Souls. Not really. There's just some.
Right.
There were some very challenging optional things that I still really enjoyed, and the ending of the game is an experience worth having. It's very over the top and epic, and I loved it. And
Okay.
and there's a reason why I believe it's the best game in the Kirby series.
All right.
All right, moving on. We've got Luigi's Mansion 3. So, my gosh, this game is absolutely incredible. Great animation style, great characterization that the characters get, especially Luigi. His animations have never looked better in the Luigi's Mansion game. His expressions are amazing. Story was great. I loved the different levels and the different themes they had. Oh my gosh. And then the multiplayer is ridiculous. It's so hard. And it's very challenging, which is a nice, refreshing take. At least I think it's challenging. I've had
So wait.
struggles with it.
So I've been recently replaying Luigi's Mansion 3 with my youngest child, and I do have to help them quite a bit. But they do surprisingly good, and I can carry them along through a lot of things. And so I'm just recently being reminded of how awesome this game is. You know, some aspects of it do remind me of It Takes Two. Not in as far as the exact gameplay, because you're not doing platforming and crazy stuff like that. It's more exploration, puzzle solving. But there's quite a few puzzles and other things where you really need to cooperate with each other. There's even times where the second player has to be on their own. You know, they have to go where only they can reach and, you know, solve a piece of the puzzle. It's really well designed.
So I have actually not played any of the Luigi's Mansion games ever.
Oh.
It's this one. And I don't know. I've been kind of interested in trying out this one, but to be honest, I do really bad with spooky stuff, and I think I remember on the GameCube trying the first game and immediately being like, I can't do this. Stop it.
I think
Alrighty.
you can do it, Lisa, especially if you play it co-op. I think it's
Yes.
the best game in the series. I do have a special place for the first one, but I think that I'm going to place 3 at the top. It's excellent.
Oh, for sure. Yep. I'll play it every Halloween season for sure.
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion 4. Let's go, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've got Mario plus Rabbids. And I don't know, David, did you add this one like for 1 and 2 or just for
Yeah.
the first
I
one?
kind of clean them together.
Okay.
I think they're both great and both worth playing. And
Yes.
easily the best. I'm going to say they're the best Mario spin-off. That's my opinion. There's
Oh,
been
for
a lot of
sure.
Mario spin-off games over the years, and like if you want to play the best one, here it is, Mario plus Rabbids. The actual game came out, and there was a surprising amount of like passion and care put into it by the team that did it.
Yes.
And I'm a fan of strategy games, and I loved it. So, in my
Back
opinion, the
then.
best Mario spin-off game and here it is on the Switch. Both Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. They're both great, and I recommend them.
Yeah, when
I
yeah,
meant
Lisa.
to finish it. Sorry.
That's okay. I actually haven't finished it either, but when it did come out, Kingdom Battle, I was not the biggest fan of strategy games. I mean, I like strategy games, but turn-based wasn't really my thing back then. But even I had a great time with Kingdom Battle. I loved it. The strategy was way fun. What?
Sorry, I just said even Steven had a great time.
Even I had I'm saying it because it's true. Even I had a good time, so I was saying something.
Yeah.
I still haven't played the second one yet, but I'm looking forward to it because, man, the first one I had a great time.
And the second one has some fun like changes to the battle system. It's not just like part 2. Like they did some gameplay innovations that I know Anthony really liked. So if he was going to say which one was better, I'm sure he would go with number 2. Great games worth playing right here on the Switch that are just one more point added in the Switch's favor.
No kidding. Absolutely. All right. Moving on. We've got the behemoth. We've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that just will not die. We've been playing it for a decade now. But
Yeah.
I have to say, the Switch version is the absolute best way to play this thing. There's never been so many courses in a Mario Kart game. It is insanity how much courses are in here. And on the Switch version, they also added the battle mode the more traditional battle mode anyway. There was a battle mode on the original game, but as you all know, it was a disaster. It was a mess. It was just the racetrack, and you're battling on it. This brought back the battle courses, and it was a banger from the get-go, and it remained a banger the entire lifespan of the Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
There was a time where I thought Animal Crossing would dethrone it, and I was so excited. Didn't happen, but that's okay. But this is the absolute best Mario Kart of all time. No question about it.
I'm one of those people that just got really good at using the Wiimote to steer, and steering never felt that good again. It never felt that good before, and it never felt that good since.
That's fair. That's fair. If you got really good and attached to the motion controls, then the Wii one would be the best. But
True.
As far as content, I'm gonna say Mario Kart 8 is the best.
I haven't had much occasion to play it, so I will believe you.
Yeah.
Lisa.
What?
It's a good thing Anthony isn't part of the discussion because he has some strong opinions about Mario Kart in general.
Yeah, Mario Kart in general, he is not a fan.
Yeah. I think it's better for everybody if Anthony just doesn't play Mario Kart.
Hey, maybe he'll like 9 if it's just the 9 that we saw in the reveal trailer. Maybe they'll tweak the systems there and he'll like it. You never know.
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
are they gonna get rid of blue shells? I don't know, man.
I doubt it. Nope, there's no way they're doing blue shells. I doubt it.
But yes, Mario Kart 8, like if you want to look up the definition of an evergreen video game, then just look at the history of its sales on the Switch.
It's Douglas fir.
Best in series in my opinion so far. But I'm very happy to know about the new one, and I'm very happy if it takes the throne instead.
Are you ready for the next one? Because I'm dying to do the next one.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, go.
So, I'm going to try to be brief.
I don't know. I think I'm dreading this one.
That's right. Yeah, Lisa did it right. No, you're talking about Metroid Dread. Super Metroid for me has always been, for years and years and years, my absolute favorite Metroid game. It was the game I was first introduced to as a kid, and I just grew up with that game, and it's never ever been topped by any of the other games that came after it, even though they're all fantastic, and I love each and every 2D Metroid. It is my favorite. I love the Prime games, but there's something about the 2D that hits my heart in a special way. But oh my gosh, Metroid Dread, I did not think it was possible. This game was better than Super Metroid for me. This is my absolute favorite 2D Metroid game. David, take it over.
Thank you. I'm in the same boat, Steven. For decades, Super Metroid was my all-time favorite game. Not just Metroid. It's probably still my most replayed game, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. I played the game hundreds of times. It's crazy.
And it's the reason I love the Metroid series. That was like the first one I played, and why I'm a lifelong fan of the series now. But Metroid Dread, I didn't think it was possible, but it became my favorite in the series. I know that there's still nostalgia, and people will have strong opinions of what their favorite is. But as far as how the game controls, how it feels, the abilities you get, the exploration. Yeah, what? The story?
Story, man.
Anybody can defend other M to us. You can try.
Yeah.
I agree that. So I don't know that I think I dabbled in playing Super Metroid, but I was pretty young, so I'm not sure I ever beat it. But so I don't know that I can be like, oh yeah, I like Dread better. I do like Dread better. I don't have as much context as like David has or Steven has, but Dread was it was awesome.
Nice, Lisa.
Yeah, I'm
proud of you. We're getting her into the Metroid series. Let's go.
Yes.
And we're actually still on the Metroid train, because the next one is Metroid Prime Remastered. Just speaking of Metroid Prime, holy garbage. Not holy garbage. I can't say that. I can't say holy crap either. Holy Moses! This game, you thought it looked good on GameCube? Dang, this is like the best looking game on the Nintendo Switch, period. It is absolutely gorgeous. Retro Studios, my gosh, you guys have got the skill because it plays beautifully. All of the different ways you can control the game are beautiful. You can play with the original controls. Don't do it. You can do a hybrid of like gyro and oh my gosh, like yeah, it was so good. I can't even praise this game enough. Absolutely incredible port. I need the other two before Prime 4, or I don't even care when. I need the other two. Give it to me now.
This is one thing where like I will not understand Nintendo and what they're thinking if they do not release those two games before.
I know, right? It's so dumb.
I agree with you. As much as I love the whole Metroid Prime trilogy, the first one is probably the most universally best one. And here we have, and now we have the best version of it right here on Nintendo Switch.
The best.
Like Steven said, I don't know that any other game can compare as far as how great they look on this old hardware now. It doesn't look like a Nintendo Switch game. It looks much better. And we have Metroid Dread, the best 2D Metroid in my opinion, and Metroid Prime Remastered, the best 3D.
Yes.
Just, more and more evidence of the Switch's awesomeness.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I have to admit that I also played Metroid Prime when I was like I was fairly young when it came out, and I never forgave it for the fact that I would be shooting one guy and then realize there was another guy behind me shooting me, but I couldn't find him because I would turn and then so I never got into Metroid Prime. But maybe I
forgive you tomorrow.
Maybe I should try the new one tomorrow.
Yes. Well, we have to forgive you tomorrow because you're going to try it today and repent. Therefore, we can forgive you.
Try it today?
We'll forgive you tomorrow or whenever that tomorrow is we actually play it. Anyway. Moving on, we are going to Pikmin 4. The long-awaited Pikmin 4. We waited years for this game. David, is this the best Pikmin game in the series?
To take people's word for it, I only recently got it for Christmas. I recently beat Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which was excellent.
Oh, Pikmin 3 is amazing.
I'm a relatively new fan of the series. I don't know. I haven't played the 1 and 2, so I'm a fan of Pikmin 3, and I'm excited to play 4. And I think people who are major Pikmin fans agree that Pikmin 4 is the best one.
Oh man!
They have some really nice innovations to the gameplay, more flexible, even more flexibility with the camera, and other innovations like that I think that fans of the series love. So I'm excited to give that one a chance. And I'm comfortable, based on what I've heard, saying that it's the best in the series. So,
same. I have not played it either. It's on my to-do list. But I've heard amazing things, and I can agree that it's probably the best based on what I've heard.
I'll give my report soon once I finally played it.
I only have the experience of trying Pikmin 1 and then never progressing past the first day. I was too worried about losing people, and so I never went anywhere.
When Pikmin's die, it's so sad.
And I'm like, no!
I can see my wife having the same problem.
That's probably why I didn't play the original games, because it hurt my soul too much when I failed my Pikmin and they died. I guess I have been desensitized a little.
We are callous now.
It still makes me suffer for those poor Pikmin. I'm still able to enjoy the game now.
All right, but do you feel the same way when your Pokemon faints in Pokemon Legends Arceus? Or Arceus, we've heard it both ways. This game was absolutely incredible. I think it's the best Pokemon game, in my opinion. I love the way that you can freely explore, and when you're battling with your Pokemon, you can still freely walk around and observe the battle from whatever angle you want, and it's happening in real time versus loading an animation like the original Game Boy game with its limitations, and how they've kept that same limitation throughout all the generations. Like, oh, please do something new. Why can't I just throw a Pokeball and have a battle right there, right then? And in this game, it happened for the very first time, and I absolutely loved it for that. And the way they just collect the research and the replayability, and how you not only have to catch the Pokemon several times, we also have to beat it several times. And you have that little book, and I love seeing my progression as I do the research, and it's so satisfying. And I just loved this game, and I cannot wait for the inevitable sequel. So
Plan to play Arceus. It's just that every time I finish one game that I've been commanded to finish, another person says, "Hey, I commanded you to play this game," and then I have to play that one.
see, we all have a backlog, Anthony. It's not just you. We all have a backlog.
And
Yes.
since I have people pleasing.
People pleasing backlogs too.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Speaking of
Wow.
backlogs, this one, Pokemon Legends Arceus, was in my backlog for a long time. I did get it at launch because I was very interested in the innovations that I saw they were adding to it,
Yes.
and I really enjoyed what I played. But then some other games came along, and I moved on. I recently came back to it, and to give you an idea of whether I liked it or not, I 100% completed the Pokédex.
Whoa.
Dang,
Yeah,
Dave.
I'll probably never do that again, but like,
But
but
it
for
was
some
hard.
reason, I just was compelled. I was having enough fun, and by the time I got to the ending, I was like, I think I can do it. I think I did have to use it.
can catch them all.
Yeah, I've been conditioned all my youth to think that I need to catch them all. So I'm a Pokemon master now. I've done it,
Dang, Dave.
Yeah.
and
Maybe
you
a
get
cheering animation somewhere.
Yeah.
Or something. What is it?
you get the special like secret ending battle and stuff that was
I was like, where the heck? What?
So there's a story reason to do it too. It's not just, oh, I did it and I'm a completionist. I knew that there was a special ending and stuff you can earn if you complete the Pokédex. So, and it was surprisingly fun, and like it has me pretty hyped for the next Pokemon Legends game that we know very little about, but we know it exists.
Yes.
I will say I'm excited to try it once I can get myself to try it. Once I have the wherewithal and the means.
Yep.
I don't know how it compares. The only other Pokemon game I've played is Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Shield, I think is the one I had. But
Good job, Dave. Good pick. I had Shield too.
and I did enjoy those, but not nearly as much as Arceus.
Agreed. Which is why Arceus made the list and not Shield and Sword.
Yeah.
And, definitely not the other two that shall not be named. Okay, moving on. We've got what has to be the best workout game.
Best fitness game ever,
Yeah,
I think.
absolutely. Ring Fit Adventure, because I'll tell you what, I never had as much fun working out as I did while playing this game.
I was going to say, it also came out at the perfect time.
That's true.
Yep.
For me, I was able to afford it, and I was supposed to stay in my house, and so I was like, okay, here we go. This is my exercise. And so I have to admit that ever since we're not like quite so cautious anymore in the current times, I'm like not playing it as much, and I still want to finish it, but I haven't. But at the time, it was just like, this is really awesome. I'm glad that I have this.
I think just like any fitness thing, it's hard to do forever.
Yeah.
But this game, like everyone has said, like it made it fun. It found a way to gamify exercise, and like I've never seen it done better.
Nope.
So it's one that it's been a little bit since I've played it regularly, and I want to get back into it because I think it's an excellent way. Like if you can't get out of the house, go to a gym, go running or anything like that, yeah, this is a perfect next thing you can do. Play a video game.
Yeah,
Play a video
right?
game and get fitness at the same time.
Yes. I love it. It's so good. All right. Moving on. We've got Splatoon 3. And I just have to say, this is, for me, the best game in the series. I know we had Splatoon 2 also came out on Nintendo Switch, and it was a fantastic entry. My only problem with it was it was too close to the release of Splatoon 1, and a lot of it felt like a clone almost of Splatoon 1, just brought over with like new weapons, a little bit of a new story, and the final boss was a little lackluster. The DLC though for Splatoon 2 was fantastic, and then they just took that DLC and they just brought it up. They just improved it 100-fold for Splatoon 3 for their single-player campaign, and oh my gosh, was it so good! Not to mention the DLCs that came out for it later on. But my gosh, I had so much fun sinking in hours and hours and hours doing turf wars, salmon runs. And in fact, Splatoon 3 was the main reason I wanted to buy... Not the main reason. I wanted to buy the Switch OLED because it's an OLED and the screen's beautiful. But I kept my original Switch as well, solely for the purpose of playing Splatoon 3 with my kids. Because you have to have one system per player for this game. And we did Turf Wars together. We did the Splat together. We did the salmon runs together. Created all kinds of fun memories with my kids doing Splatoon 3. And the weapons, everything about this game, just 100-fold, way better than anything else in the series, in my opinion. I absolutely loved it.
And, you know, your passion for it is, I do have Splatoon 2. I need to at least play that, I think, to give it a chance, knowing how much you like the series, so.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Give me Splatoon 4, Nintendo, let's go. In 4K. Woo! It has to be called Splatoon 4-K or something like that.
Oh my
Splatoon
god.
4K. You know it. Anyway.
Cancel the game. It's not coming out anymore. Just kidding.
The stream is over. I'm turning it off. I'm just kidding.
No, that was pretty good. I haven't played anything since the first Splatoon. I was tempted by the Octo expansion, so I do think I'd be interested to try it, but I haven't tried anything since number 1.
Moving on, we've got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. David, do you want to take over for this one?
I will. In my opinion, 3D World is the best co-op Mario game. Like, it is so good. Some of the final levels and the extra levels are incredibly challenging. This is one of those games that I was glad came from the Wii U and more people got to play it on the Switch. And the Bowser's Fury addition to it was really neat and fun as well. But basically, it's included on this list because I just, in my opinion, like, if you want to play co-op with people, local co-op, it's the best one. It's the best Mario for that. You've got it available on the Switch, and you have a really fun, like, open world sandbox type thing with Bowser's Fury on top of that. It's a must play, in my opinion.
I don't have anything else to say about it. David nailed it. Lisa?
I enjoyed it so much. It was one that people played with me with online co-op.
Yes, it had online co-op too. Good point.
Yeah. So I loved that, and also I have to say, like, Bowser's Fury was just supposed to be like a tiny little add-on, but it was so good, and it had beautiful music.
It didn't it though? We use that song in like a lot of our videos because that song is beautiful. Oh,
Kind of the main area theme, right?
yep.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Okay, so I haven't played Luigi's Mansion, but I don't think that I ever felt like fear when playing a Mario game. But whenever that Bowser was freaking out, I was always like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah,
He's
I
terrifying.
died.
that's true. With Bowser's Fury, that was very intense.
Yes, it was awesome. Like, I loved it, but I was like, "Oh no!"
Whenever my kids play Bowser's Fury, whenever that happens, they hide and they wait for him to calm the crap down and go back to normal size. But sometimes it doesn't happen. So that is not a good strategy, kids. We'll go over that later. But yeah, incredible game. Highly recommended. Another Mario game that has fantastic multiplayer, tons of charm. Holy cow, charm just oozing from this thing. Is Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Yes.
This, holy cow. David, do you want to take over this one too?
It's a holy cow.
It's a.
This is easily the best 2D Mario, in my opinion.
Yes.
We talked about it when we did a review, but there was some shockingly special moments that I had playing the game. If you do the main game, it's pretty accessible, not too challenging, but some of the extra challenges are super tough. And if you do the secret levels, my goodness, I was playing them late, and I was playing online, and like there was one other person in the level with me as we were nearing the end of this final secret level, and it was like one of the most heartwarming experiences I've ever had playing multiplayer. You know, we were helping each other out. You know, we put those little standees, so if you died, you'd have a place to go back to and revive without having to go way back to whatever checkpoint. And we were like cheering each other on, going. We get to the final stretch of the level, and I make it. The other person dies, and I couldn't make myself end the level without them. So I waited there with my standee, and they got. I waited a significant amount of time, and they finally. It was the same person. I recognized their username or whatever, and they got to that same part where they died, and they died again right within my reach, you know, but luckily I was there still with my standee, and I was able to revive them. And we ended the level together, and then we were both like doing the emotes like crazy. Celebrating.
They were best friends forever.
Yeah, it was really special. It was one of the best like online multiplayer interactions I've ever experienced.
And that's something we have to say about this one is the multiplayer was very unique.
Yeah.
And like you said, David, very heartwarming. Like there's no multiplayer like this in any other 2D Mario game.
It's not competitive. It's only about like helping each other out, and it's really heartwarming. But what were you gonna say, Lisa?
I was gonna say nobody should be surprised at this point, but I also haven't finished this game. But I really want to. I really want to play it with people and have a fun time with my friends.
Lisa played the entirety of the eulogy of the Nintendo Switch because she just cannot get to it. She has a huge backlog like Anthony. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
But this game has been talked about a lot. It's beautiful. It's worth playing. And maybe we need to figure out a way to play it online with you, Lisa, so you can finish it.
Moving on to what we would say is the absolute best 3D Mario game of all time. We're going to Super Mario Odyssey. Also came out on Nintendo Switch. The Switch has just had so many bangers. But this one was very different, very unique with the cappy mechanic and the capture ability. And oh my gosh, I can't even explain it. There was just so much charm and so much like nostalgia of Mario's history embedded in this game with the 3D, 2D sections, and the way it was like a celebration of everything Mario that's ever come before it, and it was done in a beautiful way, masterful way.
Yeah.
And gee whiz, I loved the crap out of that game.
It felt okay. So I don't know how it felt to everyone, but it felt like they were able to include references to old stuff without like shoving it down your throat. Like
yes. What
is it? Paulina? Is that her name?
Paulina.
Red.
Yep. It might just be Pauline, not Paulina.
Okay, yeah. So Pauline, like they could have done it in such a way where it's like, okay, I get it. Yes, I know she was in the game of Mario versus Donkey Kong, but can you please stop, beating this dead horse? But the way they did it just made it really fun. It was like, oh, she feels natural in this story and in this world that they've made.
Yeah, I completely agree. It was like a fun celebration of everything Mario's history. The capture mechanic was so fun to me. Like, I got to control a T-Rex,
Yes, that was my favorite part.
So it was so fun to like see, a creature or a character, and you can just throw your hat, and suddenly you can control, and you have different control mechanics at that point. It just was such a fun discovery every single time with that, finding out what abilities you'd get.
Not to mention the music at two specific times where I won't spoil if you haven't played it before, but when you play it, you'll know. Those 2 songs are bangers. Not to mention the entire soundtrack is also bangers too. I love the soundtrack to this game, but those 2 songs in particular, with lyrics, are awesome. Moving on to the RPG space of Mario, we got a couple we're gonna put together here because they kind of go hand in hand. One is Super Mario RPG, and the other is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I have not played the remake of Super Mario RPG yet. It is on my backlog. But I have a backlog.
I'll forget you tomorrow, Steve.
That's right. You can forgive me tomorrow too. I did play Paper Mario: Thousand-Year Door, and that was my first experience with. It was not my first Paper Mario game, but it's by far, from a new Paper Mario fan, the best one. Backing up what everyone else has been saying for years. My goodness, this game was amazing. I loved the partners. Why did they get rid of it? Bring it back, because they were so fun. I loved it. The charm and the ways you could use your partner not only in combat but also in the open world to traverse was awesome. I loved it.
Yes, I put these 2 together for me personally because I think they're 2 sides of the coin, where it's a RPG based on Mario with Super Mario RPG. If you want to play a Mario game that feels like Final Fantasy,
yeah, even down to the Kulik battle song.
Yes,
yeah,
which is a direct reference, right?
Yes, it's basically it is a Final Fantasy song.
Yeah, it is beautiful. So if that's what you want from a Mario RPG, you want to feel like this is Mario in a Final Fantasy world, like that's the closest you'll get. And I was so thrilled when it came to the Switch and this beautiful remake. It's probably the first RPG game I ever beat, and it's the reason why I even like RPGs. So, the original game, I mean.
Right.
So getting to play it again on a modern console was so nostalgic, and I don't know which I can say, like, depending on my mood, whether Thousand-Year Door or Super Mario RPG are my favorite Mario RPG. They're both wonderful. And just last year, I finished the Thousand-Year Door for the first time. I'm glad I gave it another chance. And I'm glad it came to modern consoles. It was the impossible Paper Mario game, right? We thought Nintendo had left it behind, never to be seen again. So getting that game was special. Playing it was excellent. Mario RPGs are very well represented on the Switch now.
Going on to the next one, we've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This is an incredible, the best Super Smash Bros. Game out there. Everyone is here, plus all the DLC. Like, oh my gosh, the most characters that you can play as in a fighting game.
Yeah.
And it's incredible the way that Sakurai mastered every single character's play style and their fighting style is nuts. It's masterful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Do you remember how fun it was? Every character reveal, how they'd get those super epic reveal trailers.
Yes.
That was such a fun time period to be like a fan of Smash Bros. And like hoping your personal favorite character would get included, and then they'd have this so awesome reveal trailer. I'm just remembering like that trailer where it showed the Splatoon character, right? And then you see the Smash symbol appear in their eye.
Yes, that was for me. I was like, oh, Splatoon 1 is getting ported to Switch. And then it was like, I was like, wait, are they adding Inklings? Oh. Anyway, so cool. And there were definitely, if you watch, I wish we would have done more reaction videos back then, because there were some really good reactions to those characters being revealed in those epic trailers that you spoke of, David. And some people erupted in tears. Like, their favorite characters coming to Smash in a big, big way. And I know one of my personal favorites was the last one, Sora. I lost my mind. Oh my gosh. And that reveal trailer was, like, it started out mysterious and then it just got so wholesome. And you're, oh my gosh, Sora, I just love you. Anyway, it's so cool. Such a wonderful game. And not to mention, I have to bring this up too. The Wii U version and 3DS version, though they were all so great and had a lot of characters, it ran a lot slower and it wasn't as appealing to the more competitive scene that Smash Bros. Melee had. I think this one totally brought back that competitive space in a big way with its faster playstyle, and it got rid of the tripping mechanic.
Yeah.
And some of those other like little things. But such a good game. And I don't know if we'll ever get a game like this ever again, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, well, because Sakurai is retired, right? So
basically, yeah, he's
sort of
want to do another Smash Bros. Again.
Yeah. He put his whole like heart into Smash Bros. Ultimate. I know that like Melee is the competitive favorite. Personally, for me, I'm not very good at competitive Smash, so Ultimate is my favorite. And I think for a lot of people, Ultimate is the best in the series. But I think Austin would have an opinion on this.
Austin's not here to defend himself, therefore his favorite is now Ultimate. I'm just kidding. You heard it here first, Austin. Fight me in the comments. I'm just kidding. All right, moving on. We've got The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the launch title to the Nintendo Switch when it launched back in March of 2017. I guess you have to do Tears of the Kingdom kind of along with this one because they're kind of a package deal, with Tears of the Kingdom being a direct sequel. But those two games, for me, are the best 3D Zeldas ever made. The stories for both of those broke my heart over and over and over again. And the story was just so wholesome and tragic and meaningful and powerful, and not to mention the gameplay mechanics that were introduced in these two games. And though I totally agree about, the traditional dungeons being lost in Breath of the Wild, and how they kind of had an answer to that in Tears of the Kingdom, but maybe it's not quite to the level that we were expecting. But I think they did a really good job of their innovation and really pushed themselves and pushed the limits of what could make a 3D Zelda. And I will treasure these games for the rest of my life. Like, no joke. I love these two games.
For me, like, I have to put them together, like I said, because of their direct sequel with Tears of the Kingdom. I remember the magic of playing Breath of the Wild when we first got our Nintendo Switches.
Yes.
And I could take it to work and play it during lunch break, And the magic of having a console quality game in my hands, I could take it with me. Oh, that was unforgettable. Exploring that open world of Hyrule for the first time. There was some real magic there. So
the way they gave you the freedom to tackle whatever divine beast or whatever dungeon you wanted to do first, and just completely opened up the world, was so magical, and it just created so many fun and unique experiences. And there's things that I still haven't experienced yet in Tears of the Kingdom that I want to. And I definitely want to go back and do a whole, because I actually collected all the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. I have not done that in Tears of the Kingdom yet, but
that's impressive. That's impressive.
And I still love it. And I don't remember where all of them are, so I don't feel like I got burnt out of the world, because dang, I love that world. Anyway, yeah. I'm done.
That's one like underrated thing, is just the design of the world itself. How everywhere everything is laid out to kind of lead you to it. Like, you can look in the distance, and you can see a place and you can go to it. It was one of the first video games ever where you could climb anything, right?
Yes.
Like, I think it's been copied since by many games. But it was the first one that did that, and that was another small magical thing about the game for me. Playing it for the first time, it's like, oh, this mountain, I can go to the top of it and see what's up there, you know?
And then not only that, but you could also it was also open air. You could jump off and safely get down and reach other high places that you couldn't otherwise reach unless you were coming from above it. It just really opened the world in a magical way, like David said.
Yeah. The other thing, Lisa, you wanted to say about them?
I don't think I have more to say about them.
Sorry. I obviously so much passion.
Oh, you're good.
Whoops. All right. Well, maybe this one, because I still haven't beat this next one. And I think this one is an incredible entry for a top-down Zelda / 2D Zelda / whatever you want to call it / Zelda. And that is The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Because this game was, apart from being the very first game where you can play as Zelda, it's the Zelda game with the most unique battling style.
That's true.
Using your echoes as weapons versus a sword and shield. And using your wisdom to fight the enemies versus your brawn.
Sorry.
I mean, the exact same art style for Link's Awakening for Echoes of Wisdom was fantastic. Absolutely adorable. It's perfect. Perfect first Zelda play.
Why do we accept it in one case and not in the other?
I don't know. Is it because I had to have a second chance, and the second chance sold me on it? I feel like the story of Echoes of Wisdom leans into that charming visual style.
Yes, it does.
It was designed to fit the visual style. So
that was a good answer, Dave.
So first, I want to agree with you, Steve. Echoes of Wisdom, I did beat it last year. I loved it. Like, the music was super fun.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that, and it was fun to have Zelda be the playable character for once, for the first time in a good game.
Yeah.
And the combat was fun and unique. Yeah, I feel like they combined some of the open freedom you have in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but they put it into a classic Zelda.
Yes.
And you wouldn't think it would work, but it works surprisingly well.
Yes.
And so it was fun to have that like experimental freedom, but in a more classic Zelda format. And just to see how surprisingly good it worked. I'm not confident saying it's the best 2D Zelda ever, but I really enjoyed it, and it's worth playing.
Sorry, maybe I am being a silly head, but if Minish Cap exists, I don't know if I believe this could be the best 2D Zelda.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not confident saying it's the best 2D Zelda ever, but it is a must play if you're a Zelda fan. It's most unique, right?
Yes.
I own Echoes of Wisdom. I bought it. I haven't started it yet, so
I'm still working on it myself, but what I've played, I've loved it.
Okay.
The other shout out the game deserves is having some of the most interesting Zelda lore in the entire series.
Oh,
really?
The people who haven't played it need to finish it, and then they can understand why.
Okay, moving on. We've got Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Woo!
Goodness gracious, I am a Xenoblade fan now. I still haven't beat it yet. I just started Chapter 7. But my goodness. No wonder this is Anthony's favorite game of all time. It is a beautiful story about life, and that's all I'll say. The gameplay drastically improved from Definitive Edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and in very powerful ways. And all of the mechanics are just tenfold improved. And the worlds are just so unique. The way that it looks like Xenoblade Chronicles X is going to play into the lore now makes me very excited for that Definitive Edition this year.
Yeah.
I'll be picking it up day one, most likely, and giving it a shot. But goodness, I am a Xenoblade Chronicles fan now. You're welcome, Anthony. Just kidding.
It's your chance to finally say you finished one of the games on this list.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Lisa, bring it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have to forgive you. You have to forgive me because I still.
All right, yeah. So for once, this is one of the games on the list that I've actually completed, and I will say it's awesome. It's such a good time. I don't know really what to say about it other than I recommend playing it.
Lisa, and you and Anthony were the Xenoblade evangelists for me.
Yeah.
You both played the original Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii.
Yeah.
And we're big fans of it. And I don't know if I would have I don't know if this series would have been on my radar if it wasn't for both of you. I'm a big fan of it now too. I played Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition when it came to Switch, and I have to admit I skipped 2 based on based on some of the things I heard. But 3 I played, and the emotional story that journey you go on with that game is just so impressive, unforgettable.
Yes.
And so I'm a fan now. I'm a fan of the series, and you get the credit for that. I'm curious, since you were a passionate fan of the original game, where do you rank the third one?
Based on Anthony and myself, and I think David.
Yeah.
Right, David? I think you put it at the top.
Okay, so here's my problem. So I think I would maybe put it at the top, but I still, like, when I hear the main theme of the first game, I tear up a little bit, and so that's something where I'm like, the third game doesn't do that for me. I do think it's probably the best one. I don't know if it's my favorite one, but it might be. Now that I've actually finished the game, I can go through and listen to the music more, which usually, once I listen to the music and my brain's like, oh, I remember this thing that happened, then I go, and then I'm like, it was amazing!
Yeah, that's true. They need to add it. They need to add the whole series music to Nintendo Music.
Yeah!
Yes. Where is it?
Yeah.
I ended up buying CDs from Japan so that I could own them.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Anthony did too.
Yep, I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
The entire series has wonderful music. There is some opinions about Xenoblade Chronicles X from Anthony in particular, but
the cave song has no right to be that much of a banger, and yet it is. That freaking cave song. I love it.
I'm hopeful that with Xenoblade Chronicles X coming, that they might actually put some of these soundtracks on Nintendo Music soon to kind of promote it, right? And this, so just look at this list we went through. It took us quite a while to go through all these games, just focusing on first-party games. I know Anthony, if he was part of this discussion, he'd have some passionate things to say for these games. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And if you have something powerful that you want to say about any of these games, or if we missed one of your favorites, let us know down in the comments below, because we'd love to keep the conversation going even after we post this video, to keep talking about the fantastic library that this incredible system has, being the Nintendo Switch. Oh, you can't see behind me. But, absolutely incredible. I believe it's one of Nintendo's best consoles of all time.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that lightly.
No, I don't say it lightly either. And I will say, confidence to say for me, that the Switch was Nintendo's greatest console generation so far.
And I agree with you, David.
Just look through this list, and we have so many all-time best games for basically every Nintendo IP.
Yes.
And there, of course, people have opinions that they might have some classic games that are, from previous console generations that are still at the top for them. But when you take it all together and see how many of all-time greatest games we have here, it's hard to argue against the idea that a previous console generation was better.
It has been a fantastic ride. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the Switch 2. Let's see if the Switch 2 can keep this hype train going. Hopefully it can.
I think it will. I think it's going with some good momentum with the backlog or with the backwards compatibility.
Mhm.
You know, we are not starting over. Our game libraries are coming with us.
Yes.
You know, all these games that we've said are in our backlogs that we haven't played yet. We still can do it. You know, on the Switch too.
Yeah.
Holy guys, this is gonna be. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll perform even better, right?
Yes, that's the hope. Please, Nintendo, you got to make sure that each of your Switch games gets at least a performance boost.
Yeah.
At least. It'd be nice to have a 4K boost too, but I'll at least take the better performance.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this special discussion for the Nintendo Switch as we prepare ourselves for the future of the Nintendo Switch 2. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please subscribe, like, and ring the notification bell so that you are notified whenever we upload another video. And until next time, guys,
Keep it nerdy.